kind of the way it is in Bengals camp right now. The nightmare. Anyway, somewhat. I mean, you've got some guys that have showed up for camp that have contracts. You were talking about some guys that don't have contracts are there. Some that don't want contracts are not there. I always think that this is, you show up for your team. Whether you're practicing is one thing, but showing up and standing there, kind of like Lamar Jackson.
In the playoff game that he didn't go to?
No. Last 2 weeks ago.
Oh, the mini camp.
$750,000 goes to give it to charity. Give that money to charity or something like that.
Just stand there.
But just stand there. Put your Ravens shirt on and stand there for your teammates. Yes, I'm in a contract dispute because guys that were in contract disputes during spring training, it was counterproductive. You can't do all the things you want to do with missing pieces.
Yes.
So the machine needs everybody there. If you're not there, we can't go over everything.
But that's my leverage, Rob. So Jamar Chase not there at the Bengals camp. Or excuse me,
Jamar's there. T. Higgins is not.
T. Higgins signed the franchise, or has yet to sign his tender option. I think he has a couple of days
I don't want to sign.
And they still have the opportunity to negotiate some kind of deal before the season starts. Jamar Chase has a deal, but wants to be
wants to get more money.
Now, I think of both of these guys, or any wide receiver, is a direct correlation from Justin Jefferson getting paid here recently. Not only getting paid, like the biggest sticking point, and this was Deshaun Watson going to the Cleveland Browns. It's not necessarily the total dollars, it's the guaranteed total dollars. And with Jamar Chase, had a couple of injuries recently. T. Higgins playing on this franchise tag looks great for 1 year, but that's why he wants more years, is because the potential risk of injury. And I hate to break it to these owners, this sport's risky, man. So these guys have this leverage, and we'll see this every single year of the NFL, to hold out on minicamps to do exactly what you just said. Upset the apple cart, not get everybody on the same page, make ownership, or really it goes from coaches to complaining to GMs, man, I need this guy out here. We got to get on the same page to win a Super Bowl. And the GM then goes to the owner, and that's how things get done. But I'm with you, man. Like, it's weird to put yourself in the shoes of the athlete, because I understand where the athlete's coming from to try to maximize his money as best he can in the small window that he has to do it. And then on the other hand, I'm with you 100%, Dibs. If I'm a fan of the Bengals today, I'm like, man, get out there and practice, just stand there and be a part of this, because you're going to be a big part of this, and we need you here as well. And, this goes for everyone out there. Why is Aaron Rodgers not at Jets minicamp?
He had an event that was very important to him.
He had permission to leave. I mean, that again. So Joe Burrow was told not to participate. He was there, but he wasn't participating.
And he's been injured in many camps in preseason.
Aaron Rodgers has been participating in the voluntary OTAs.
Okay.
He was given a day to go do his thing. So
it's more about the knowledge with Rodgers and Burrow.
And I think Aaron's all in on this season. He wants to win a Super Bowl. He wants to show everybody's healthy. Well, if he wants to get more money and continue to play. Listen, are you worried about Aaron Rodgers?
No, I'm worried about his health more than I'm worried about
I'm worried about his health.
Skills. But I'm worried about everybody else, just like you said. Like all these receivers.
If this is 4 days in the dark, I'd be worried about Aaron Rodgers. If this is an event, and hopefully it's a charity event, you know what? Give the guy the day to go do it. I don't want to nitpick every missing guy.
Now, he's not missing. He is there, but they're trying to get a deal done. Ramondre Stevenson, the running back from the New England Patriots, kind of been topic of conversation around these parts as far as paying this running back a little bit more. What are your thoughts on this guy? Because just my overhead view of the New England Patriots, I know we're in a new era.
They don't have a lot of running backs, man.
I know. But typically, they don't need a lot of running backs because they find them off the trash heap. Like, running back position in the New England era is drafting a guy in the 4th round and rolling with it through his rookie contract, or finding this fullback that can get some 5-yard touchdowns every now and then.
He's your main guy, but listen, even the main guys right now know that we're going to be, underpaid. We're going to be underpaid for the abuse we're about to take. The 350 carries, we're going to, gain 1,200 yards and be able, basically not be able to crawl out of bed on a Monday. That's your job right now. And if you accept the job, hey, good for you. Some of these guys are trying to get everything. Here's the thing. You should have already been negotiating this deal before these camps start. You know exactly when the camps are going to start. And you're
Especially
right.
after the draft.
Some of these guys think that they're better than they really are. And like you just said, you've got a new head coach. These guys don't want to be made to look bad. We see this. Let's just take Blake Snell in Major League Baseball. Totally dropped the ball on his negotiations, his agent and he. Doesn't go to spring training, ends up signing, comes in late, and is an absolute trash. Yeah. You know, he's a dumpster fire.
Is he on the IL?
He's on the IL with a bad groin. And he's blaming the no spring. You're the reason for the no spring training. You didn't show up. You didn't want to play. You were out coaching. So again, some of this is on you, some of this is on us, but both sides, in order to try to make a winning season happen, you got to get this stuff done. This is the business part of it. The business end sucks. And now that we're talking about all these business end things and not football, I'd much rather be talking about how does this guy look in OTAs? Is this guy ready for the season? You know, did this guy survive the preseason? We don't even want to play football games anymore. We're so scared of we need to bubble wrap all these guys. We can't even go like hands off, no pads, training camp, get through to the start of the season. So doing the contract should already have been taken care of.
But for Ramondre, I really don't know what he's looking for. He is 26 years old. He had 600 yards off of 150 carries. You know, that again, the offense a lot different than offenses around the league and definitely Patriot offenses of the past. But you're right. Like, if you're not going to Ramondre Stevenson, you're rolling the dice with some of these other running backs that are on the depth chart right now for the New England Patriots. You don't know what you're going to get.
This is what happened to Ezekiel Elliott a couple years ago. This is how Tony Pollard got the job. Zeke got a huge contract. It was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a little time off in training camp. I'm going to, dance through the preseason, then start dancing, and his carries diminished as his yards per carry diminished, and this guy was no longer the stud that he was when they were paying him the big money. Where's Ezekiel Elliott now? He went back to the Cowboys. This guy actually led the Patriots in rushing last year. He got more carries, but Ramondre was the guy that got more per carry.
But
4
he's
yards.
Not top 20 in the league.
Not even top 30, 40, 50.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're not going to get it from the Patriots, I don't know if any team is going to be banging the door down for Ramondre Stevenson's services.
Ramondre needs the Patriots more than the Patriots need him. You are absolutely correct. One of these other guys could go out there and get 800 yards or 1,000 yards rushing this year. Now, does that mean these guys are going to win 8 games? No. Is this going to – I look at it this way. Does Stevenson make them a 5-win more team? No. Maybe 3, maybe. But I don't know.
I can't even say this.
So,
you got a new quarterback potentially. It might be Jacoby Brissett's job. It may be Zappi's job. But for the most part, a lot of people would like to see the rookie that you drafted 3rd overall and Drake May out there. And you would like to say, well, it's going to be fine because he's just going to turn around and hand it to Derrick Henry. He's just going to turn around and hand it to Bijan Robinson. He's going to turn around, just hand it to this stud. I can't say that about Ramondre Stevenson. So, I don't know what we're doing here, messing around with this running back situation. I lean more towards Stevenson than I do for the Patriots as far as who's messing this negotiation.
Your agent can either make you or break you, and by giving you the wrong information, saying you're better than you really are, go out there and get 1,400 yards this year. Get 4.4 yards per carry. Be a great blocker. Be great coming out of the backfield and catching passes. James White was amazing for a long time, but he knew his place on the team. Yep. And so for some of these guys, the Patriots do things a little bit differently. You're the featured back, but you're not really the featured back. You don't even really know who the quarterback's going to be right now. So thinking you're going to be, this guy that's going to get 350 carries when you got 154 carries last year. I mean, that's the bottom line here. Is how many carries do you think you're going to get this year versus how much money you think you should be paid for each carry?
Who's going to get the deal first, Dak, CD, or Micah?
Micah.
Now, Micah's on the option that was exercised by the Cowboys right now.
Was it 21 mil, something like that?
You know, he's paid, but
getting paid,
he
but
doesn't
not
have
enough.
the extension.
Right.
He doesn't know what the future holds, and he is considered one of the top 5 defensive players, not just his position, players in the game right now. So I'm with you, man. I think they're messing around with the wrong people.
Playing with fire right there, Scarecrow.
And Dak Prescott, gosh, man. I mean, the going rate is going to be 50 plus. That's just
that's a lot
that's
to
the
pay for that
market,
dude.
and that's going rate. And
Had a career year last year. There's no doubt in my mind. But you got to win playoff games to get paid now. And I
you
don't
ain't
want
going to go with Cooper Rush. You ain't going to
No.
go with Trey Lance. Like Micah, I totally agree. He is one of the best in the business, but you have some fallback plans on defense that you can mix and match and make things happen. With the quarterback not being there, like Dallas is in a tough spot, man. Very tough spot. And I would say, too, if that quarterback doesn't have one of the top 10 receivers, or we'll just say top 20 receivers in CeeDee Lamb, it's going to be a lot harder for him to be successful. The Dallas Cowboys have messed around, and they're at a pinnacle right now of bad deals.
I
And
blame one guy, and his initials are JJ.
everybody does. Everybody knows it.
Hey, you're the one that wanted to pay Dak. You paid Tony Romo. You keep paying the wrong people on your team. Then you got to get rid of Tony Pollard when he needs to get paid. I mean, some of these decisions that you've made recently, I don't know where it puts the Cowboys. I really don't. I mean, because now you're thinking about paying this guy more money for not winning you championships, not winning you playoff games. That's the bottom line for Prescott. The same thing I say about Tony Romo when other Cowboy fans come at me and they're like, yes, but his dirt. Yeah, last year, Dak Prescott, top 10 quarterback, 4,500 yards, 36 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Did he win the Super Bowl? No.
Rather have Baker Mayfield.
That's right. He played in it. So, and again, you've got the guy that I hate to use Mr. Irrelevant,
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy
Purdy.
getting you to the Super Bowl or Dak Prescott not getting you to the Super Bowl and making 10 times more money. I mean, it's just the relative thing is I have to pay for the postseason first. That's where Jerry Jones's head should be at. We talk about it in baseball. I don't pay Garrett Cole to win me regular season games. I'm not paying Juan Soto or Aaron Judge. I'm paying you for what you do for me in the postseason. You've got to get me deep into the postseason for make it worth my while. What have we been talking about the Celtics? Celtics have to win the NBA championship, or it's a total bust.
Yeah.
Why did we bring in Drew Holiday? Why did we bring in Porzingis? Why did we trade away our future? We got to have the most from Tatum and Brown. And honestly, when you look at their salaries compared to Anthony Davis and LeBron, they're making half as much as those dudes, and they're producing a lot more.
So the big news in Giants land here in the last week was tight end Darren Waller. After
Did he retire or not?
He did retire.
Did he come back already?
No, he is not. He has made it official. So he had a big hospital scare not too long ago that kind of scared him into retirement. He's actually been quoted on saying that. But he's only 31 years old, and this is a position that we see some old guys. By the way, Mercedes Lewis coming back at the age of 40 for the Chicago Bears, who have a plethora of tight ends. But this guy loves the game, and he still wants to play, and he's very serviceable. Patriot fans know of Mercedes Lewis services.
Wow.
But yeah, Darren Waller. I think this is kind of a big hit that wasn't expected for the Giants, especially 2 years ago when they make this deal with the Raiders to get him as a part of this offense. It's really just unfortunate.
Kelsey Plum broke his heart.
That might have something to do with it too. But yeah, getting the divorce and then having the scare and the hospitalization has made Darren Waller to make the decision to walk away
Now,
from
is
the
a single
game.
a hit? Is that a hit single he just put out? No, I don't think so.
Oh, he has a rap career.
He's
That's
got a
right. I
singing
forgot about
career out
that.
there.
Yeah, he's got a good fallback plan. So there. Well,
I don't know if that's a good fallback
right.
plan. He's got a fallback plan.
We'll listen to the music and we'll let Kurt decide. I find that fascinating.
Have you seen the throwback Giant jerseys, by the way?
Horrible. Are they throwback? They're throwback? They're from like the original
Throw
days?
up.
Well, the pants is the thing. The pants are like khaki pants. And it's
I don't want to see Y.A. Tittle's uniform again. It looked great on him on one knee with the blood gushing out of his face, but man, I don't need to see these guys wearing them in 2024.
Neighbors, the receiver out of LSU, they kind of cornered him when they like, hey, what do you think?
Don't ask me.
Gonna be hard to rock this. I don't think that's the direct quote. He said something of the sort, but yeah, he wasn't that impressed. And then the Minnesota Vikings kind of went the other way. They started these Frost jerseys that are all white. I did not know this until this past weekend. They drop fake snow during their football games before kickoff. Like when you're sitting there watching the Vikings about ready to get set, and like just to make you feel at home in Minnesota, they have fake snow that comes from the ceiling. Isn't that cool? That's awesome. More people need to do that. But everyone likes Justin Jefferson said thumbs up to these new Frost jerseys for Minnesota. So
people are calling them outrageous for the 100th anniversary.
The Giants
jerseys.
Now, don't they have like a kind of a stripe red, white, and blue?
Right. The numbers in white. There's a blue stripe through the middle and then red on the borders. And it's just, but those pants. But those pants.
Do we have a date? Is that the opening week? Do we know when we're going to wear these? Have they been shamed so much they're not even going to get them out of the closet now? It's like paid for them, but we can't wear them because everybody hates them so much?
I agree. They do look like the Montreal Canadiens. Good take here.
Yeah, they do look like Canadiens. But not the khaki pants.
Les Club de Football.
I don't understand why we got to match the pants. We'll see.
I don't know.
Tight ends, though, for the New York Giants, Andrew Thomas will take over as in the starting role, followed by Matt Nelson. So get used to those names. It's going to be another long season for the Giants, isn't it?
All right. Executive Vice President and General Manager of New Hampshire Motor Speedway, David McGrath, one of our favorite guests. He's going to tell you about what is going on the 21st through the 23rd up there in New Hampshire. Get it all over you. David McGrath joins us on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell next.